Hello YouTubers, Troz here. Back playing some more Factorio All Items, and just waiting for the autosave to complete here. Last time we had put in some cars manufacturing, and I wanted to get in tanks, but kind of just ran out of time because, well, I gave a demo of how I actually come up with some of these blueprints by making the radars over here. So let's get in those tanks now. Should have a blueprint right here, and this is basically identical to the artillery over here, except it's building tanks, and the benefit that the tanks get is they only require 32 engines instead of 64, if I remember correctly. Well, let's check over here. Well, that's... Yes, they only require 32 engines. And they don't require pipes. So they're a bit easier. The layout here is still kind of cramped, but I think these can achieve 60 per minute, as opposed to only half of that we were getting for the artillery wagons. So hopefully this will build here rather quickly. Here's a... we got 500 robots working on this now, I guess. Let's get out of their way, and yeah, let's put down a RoboPort, although that will have to wait a bit to get powered. Let's take another one up front here somewhere, kind of bridging. Can't connect to both of them at once. Well, let's stick that there. Alright, that's charging now. Well, they're not directly connected, but they're all connected in the same network. That's close enough that the robots can easily fly between them. Yeah, so same layout again. We're bringing in iron plates here to make pipes. The pipes, gears, and steel are then used to make the engines. Ooh, I missed a line. 2 lines. Another steel and another gears. Well, the gears are easy. Well, we can put these in while we're waiting. That will be it for the gears. We'll take it off this line. Let's put priority on that one and just balance it out. Doing all this, I'm really surprised at how many things need gears. We have quite a few taps off of that gears line already. Well, it's either I don't exactly have... Well, that is labeled as steel. I believe both of these do go up to the actual tank assembler, so that should be correct. It's not exactly labeled well there, and that is, of course, my own fault. You know what, let me just come down here. We'll stick that there. We'll put an additional splitter here. Thanks for the belts, guys. No, there. Alright, I think that should be it. Well, that would have been it had I put these in the right way. Okay. No. One more. I have to pay better attention when I'm setting things up. Alright, let's do this real quick. Sorry about this, I thought I had planned out exactly what I was going to need, but I obviously wasn't paying that close of attention. I'm gonna move over a bit here. Luckily that fits in over here as well, fine. Alright, I'll put the balancer on this later. We don't actually have many things that use red circuits, so... Okay. That should be good. Let's hook it all up. Okay. Yeah, alright, that is looking good. We got gears coming up, so we got a whole, well, a row of gears here. So we only need 15 gears, that's one swing. But we have engines there as well, and engines coming over here, getting all balanced. So we have like 3.5 inserters of engines. Sorry. 4, because we have 2 for gears, and these 2 are also, well, half gear, half engine, full engine. What's going on here? Did I miss... I did miss something. I'll fix that. Really, most of these steel are like a half line of steel. So this is a half line. I could actually probably... You know what, this will actually fix it. I'm wondering why everything is stopped to this. But this is a half line here, and then with this, we have two full line, well, 1 line and a half, and this is a line and a half because it goes down, so that will not be throughput limited. Alright, here we go. So we have even more steel going here, and that's right, I had to use this crazy thing to balance it all out. And in fact, I've basically missed it, but we have made all the tanks we can. So we've made 32 minutes. It did go up. Let's see how much we can actually make. Yes, thank you, autosave. Well, so we got bots to put that all out. 48, 56, 64? Toggling between 56 and 64 is exactly what I want to see. That is basically 60 a minute, which is what I'm aiming for. You know, obviously when you can provide the right amount of iron at once. Yes, 50 iron, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arms supplying the iron. It's, you know, we got basically 4 supplying engines, and you know, 1.5, 2 supplying gears, and 1 and a little bit, well, 1 supplying red circuits, and then another half of, well, supplying engines. Yeah, so it was doing 42 a minute for about 3/4 of a minute. So yeah, that's right on 60. Okay. Next, we've done this row and this row and this row and this row and this row. We just finished up. This row we were previously producing the bots and all the logistics items. If we look over here, here's all the logistics chests, and we were doing the robo ports right here. Oops. And where did we have the bots? They were right next to it, weren't they? Here we go. Yes. We have 2 things making bots. One for the construction bots and one for the logistics bots. So we have that whole row already. So we're up to this row. Luckily, these are all related. They're yeah, I consider these all the circuit network stuff. I mean, technically, lights are not circuit network, but they work really well with the circuit network. You can hook the lights up to things to show different levels of how much you have. And speaking of which, this wasn't really planned, but hey, let's Oop, that's slow going with that out. So I have one of these in my main base, but now since this is a separate logistics network, well, let's stick it in the corner over here. I actually just updated this because when I first built it, this is close enough to the corner, but it's not on a small patch of trees, but that's okay. Get rid of the trees in the way. So when I originally made this, I didn't have the refined concrete because that wasn't in the game yet. But I also had it kind of at hard-coded values, and I basically completely rebuilt this from scratch. So now, in addition to controlling the color, you can say, okay, you need 5 of an item for the red light to come on, 50 for a yellow light to come on, 500 for green, and 5,000 for cyan. But, hey, we're not actually producing any of this stuff yet. So let's produce it now. The only things we are producing that needs is some of the beacons, roboports and substations that power everything. So, here we go. So this, in one column, and I hope I lined everything up correctly, produces lights, red wire, green wire, even though technically if you have the bots place stuff you don't need the red or green wire, they make it themselves from thin air. And then the constant combinators, arithmetic combinators, decider combinators, and power switches and speakers. Not all in the same order, but yeah, there's the decider combinators. Here's the arithmetic combinators. Basically, this is kind of grouped by needs. Things that need iron are at the beginning, and then we don't need the iron line after a certain point. Actually, the iron is here. Some of the iron is sent down the middle here, some is split off here. Needs a whole lot of circuits, and then it needs copper, because we use a lot of copper wire, and well, each copper plate is 2 copper wire, so it's much easier shipping the plate than having a belt of wire. You need, well, twice as many belts of wire than you would of copper plate. So let's hook this up properly. It's just gonna go straight. Let's get a roboport in here. Alright, we'll stick it over here. That will... And this... Yeah, I believe that covers everything. Alright. Circuit network. So this needs some iron sticks and iron plates for the lights, which are now being used. Let's light up everything here. Let's put it to a minute. so they don't all jump around crazily. Some of them are making... No, okay. I was going to say some of them are less than 60, but hey, we're not even at 30 seconds of running yet, so they'll all easily be over. I mean, you see the lights are going to be several hundred a minute. Yeah, most of these are limited to 2 stacks, I think. That's almost already done. The only reason this isn't because they're being used. Yeah, so easily over 100. Several that's like already stopped production, but it should be similar to this. It should be like close to 160 a minute if production was kept steady. I mean, these are the only things now, and along with the lights. How are we going over here? So these all have requester chests that request. Well, technically they request one item of each type. The robots though can hold 4, so they'll take 4. Then all of these are set to read one particular item type. The roboports are set to output what's in the logistics network to the circuit network, which I have red wires connecting all over here. Each of these then select and output just one of those items. So this one outputs the wood chest, iron chest, steel chest, tanks. These are not set because, hey, this is in the same order. You know, we have the first tab is this first column, and then this is this first row, this is this row, etc., etc., etc. So once everything gets hooked up and all the wires, the value and color comes across where the item comes up, and basically the light is... This is V, this puts the item, I think, on C, so this is just checking that C is greater than V, greater than or equal to, for every light. And if it is, it comes on, it gets the color, assuming the signal's, you know, until every light is in, the signal doesn't go all the way across. But, yeah, we'll check back on this. You know, it's just basically a reworked version of this, but hey, it's in a separate logistics network, so it will be showing what we have in that production area as opposed to this is my main production area. And like I said, this is missing the refined concrete where this has it. Okay, so we've got this row now. We have this row except for cliff explosives, and I'm going to hold off on that one. That one is much better done, hey, once we're actually making explosives, because, well, it uses them. We also aren't making grenades or barrels yet either, so yeah, I'll be skipping that for now. So, next is this tab. This is actually the tab that has the lowest number of items, although this is full. A lot of these, like, this isn't an item, it's a pure recipe, and a few of these are pure recipes. Although if you click on a chest, you'll have the different ores here. So, we actually are already supplying the ores and several of the plates and stuff like that. But, yeah, that's another thing. So this seems that it has the fewest actual items on it. I'm not going to continue directly here because a few of the items need some rare elements. And specifically, the next thing I'm going to make are these furnaces. Mainly because the stone furnace is used in the boiler and the burner mining drill. So I'd kind of need these so we can use the stone furnaces to make those. So I've actually set up on the other side of my bus, our bus, the bus. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I'm going to be busing a few more things, or if we're got everything. I definitely do have like spare belts because I know like there's there's stone on this bus, but I've already dedicated 4 lines just to making landfill. So these 4 could be reused for something else. But anyway, we have been pulling some stuff off to this side, although fairly far off. So, yeah. Not as far as like this, but hey. This is where I'll continue building for at least a short bit. So the furnaces, we have the stone furnace that requires just stone, we have the steel furnace that requires steel and brick, and then the electric furnace that also requires steel and brick, but also advanced circuits. So we have a line of stone here, 2 lines of brick, 2 lines of steel, and 1 line of red circuits, and it will also have an output line. Again, I've made these in a creative world just to try to get them nice and efficient before plopping them down here. So let's drop this down, and this shouldn't anywhere be as near as complex as the tank was. It mostly is just like, hey, let's feed the stone into 2. We have 2 stone furnace constructors, not because we actually need them. I mean, it takes only half a second, but because we're actually going to be exporting these and using them in at least 2 other builds, we want to have these at a rate that will support 2 other builds going at 60 items a second as well. So yeah, I think this gets a 400% bonus, so we're probably making... Well, if we could get the stone in that fast, we could probably be making 8 a second, but I think it's doing at least 4 a second out of both of these. So we are doing 8 a second maybe overall. Well, let's see. It's 5 stone. Yeah, we are probably doing 8 a second because you only get 40 stone out of a blue line anyway. Power. There we go. Next, this is the steel furnaces. That's just using steel and your stone bricks and steel. What is the... Okay, so 10 stone bricks, 6 steel. We have 3 arms versus 2 arms. And then finally we got the electric furnaces down here. That's 10, 10, and 5. And we actually have 2 of these. Because they take 5 seconds. And oh, we are doing 600%. So theoretically, one of them should be fast enough to get our 1 a second. But hey, if we're making them, let's make them. And use up whatever is remaining on the belts and have 2 assemblers. This one is outputting to this underground belt. No. They're both outputting to these chests. That's taking from that underground belt, because I bet that's extras. That's the red circuits. Stone, steel. The stone gets... The second line of stone gets added in here. Same thing with the steel. So let's hook these up. They all match up. And see how things go. Well, here. That's fine. Let's hook this up. Look at our stone furnace production. Somewhere between 450 and not quite 500. We could say 475 maybe is the average. What do we... Well, that's going to take a while. But yeah, these are filling up here, and then they'll fill up. They've already filled up that line. Yeah, so that's definitely going to meet the quota. Alright, I'm going to use an underground belt here, and then over here, because this will have to come out. Yeah, let's stand in the middle. And now this should turn on these steel and electric furnaces. So you can see these are all pulling as much as they can. Let's hit a minute here. Go back to 5 seconds. So the steel furnaces were doing 160-ish, and we're doing almost 200, or just about 200 on the electric furnaces. So yeah, we're running all these quite well. Theoretically, we may be making a smelting array here. I'm definitely going to be making smelting arrays in the future, so having a plenty of steel furnaces, electric furnaces, will be helpful. Okay. Well, now that we have the furnaces being made, technically I'm making these already, although I have another blueprint that makes these repair packs, as well as these, but we'll get to that at another time. Let's continue on here with boilers, steam engines. So this just makes, well, boilers and steam engines, and apparently I was off by a little bit, but hey, that doesn't really matter too much. So we have one pipe builder assembling machine here, and that supplies both the boilers and the steam engines, which for some reason I don't have efficiency modules on. But I believe these, or at least the steam engines are, they really shouldn't be item limited. It may be item limited just because they're getting 20 iron plates, not just a second, but hey, this is going to be running at like 400%. Oh, I request them, they are there. I obviously missed that it was still requesting the modules. Yeah, so it's basically item limited at more than if it's at 200%, then it's trying to pull 40 plates a second. So yeah, you're not going to get a full full production at anything over 200%, and we have it at 400% with just the beacons. So that's why that has efficiency. This has speed just because we want to get these the pipes they need just as quickly as we can, and if it backs up, hey, that's okay. So let's do a little of the belt working, routing, belt routing. You know what, let's go up one. We'll route this across. And then the rest of these we'll just put in some underground belts. I said underground belts. Okay. And let's. So we're making about 200 boilers a minute and only 32 steam engines. Oh. Why? I wonder if we can improve that. Alright, just for laughs, I'm gonna... That looks better. Yeah, that's quite a bit more than 60. It's still running in fits and starts, just because, hey, now it's iron plate limited. But yeah, now we fill this. I don't want to buffer too many. I'd actually reduce that buffer, but momentarily it would have no buffer. And yeah, that would be a little crazy. Okay, well, I didn't really expect this to go that well, seeing how long the last episode took. But let's do the other thing that boilers need, and I'm actually not sure I actually have built miners yet. Yeah, there's... I would think I'd label them as miners. So, let me take a little break here and come back, and we'll continue with miners then. I was going to say, in the meantime, I can briefly go and start getting these on the train. Actually, everything we made, but that would require me walking all the way up there, and that would take a bit, probably a minute or whatever. I'd rather let me come back. We'll do the miners that also, obviously the burner miners. We'll use these as well, and then I can put everything on the train at the end. So I'll see you then. Well, I'm not sure what happened here, but this bug biter came and started tearing this up. I put down these laser turrets, but apparently, as some construction robots came by to start fixing this, he kind of chased one over to these turrets and just got himself killed. So this will be fixed real soon, and I'll be right back with some more construction in the production area. This is one of, well, these were outposts at one point, but they're, basically on the edge of my base area at this point. So this will get fixed up real quick. It's within the normal logistics area. Yeah, I really probably shouldn't have spread my logistics out this far. It did take probably a good minute and a half for the bots to start repairing this. But hey, we got a little more laser turrets. I'm sure it wandered in from here, one of these bases. Alright, so I'll be right back with some more construction. Okay, I'm back. That previous clip, my main base hasn't been attacked in quite a while. I'm assuming that was just a scout that's sent out randomly, and he didn't get picked up by my other lasers and just started chomping on things. It turns out I did actually have the blueprint I was looking for. This is drills and pumps. I just didn't name it mining drills. So I've put in the belts that for the materials needed, and let's just hook this up. This is going to be the furnaces, so let's run that. And the rest of these, well, these I can actually just run straight down. So I think that's the last thing that needs furnaces. And these I'll use underground belts. And hopefully this will just start working in a minute. We've got the burner miner drills, the electric miner drills, and then offshore pumps and pump jacks. So let's check these out. Where's the... Well, these are definitely gonna go up above 60, and so are these. Why don't I see... Oh, here's the... Those are definitely above 60. If we go to 5 seconds... Yeah, even the pump jacks are above 60. The offshore pumps just stopped because they hit their limit. And these have also hit their limit. These are take a little longer because they're not as fast, but you can see they're at 88 a minute, so we're definitely over our goal of 1 a second for every item. At least 1 a second. Definitely, we do more if we can. We actually could probably put a second one of these. We just have to have a more pipes production. Actually, if everything's going at the same time, we have to use gears. Of course, autosave kicks in. Yes, you do. So if everything's running, we may actually not have enough gears for another pump jack. That should finish in just a second, and it's going about almost 2 a second. So that's, we have these, and we have at least the first 2 there. So next, I have actually I know we have production of picks, but I found the blueprint that also produces repair packs, so I've set up for that as well. I set that up over here, so let's quickly get that in place. It's basically just one repair pack machine. This is all sped moduled up as much as possible. And then we've got two separate iron stick producers to feed and make picks as quickly as possible. So I'm going to wait until these... There we go. We're all set. There's the one pick. Stop. Oh, well, I was going to say, why isn't that working? I should have double checked. Well, that's bad. That's clear. That's clear. Yeah, alright. A little bit of a mix-up there. Alright. So the picks are all... Yeah, over 900 repair packs a minute. At least over 800. And then... almost 250 steel picks. I didn't catch... Actually, if we go here... That was too long ago for the iron pick. Why? Oh. Well, it couldn't have been just 9.3 a minute. But over... You know, if that was over 30 seconds... that would be about 90 a minute. Which I'm sure, you know... Ooh, yeah, making a lot of those. Alright, so this is all good as well, and plus with these we already have another production, so... this is somewhat duplicated, but... So, we actually have a lot of things being produced now that we haven't yet got on the train. So let's get that on the train to end this episode. I'm walking over here to the front of the train. As now you can see we have nuclear fuel already. But not in each locomotive. So I'm just going to use the fast inserters. They should be able to pick up 3 at once. Or maybe not, because these things aren't really stackable, but still... The time it takes to swing 3 times is nothing compared to the time it will take to fill the other cars of the train. Yeah, so it looks like they need to do 3 individual swings. So we should be getting bots coming over to refill these, but the locomotives at this point should be completely full, unable to take any more. I'll let you chase me with those inserters. Alright. Alright, we still gotta do these at some point. Those are all the fluids. We have all the first tab things done except for the explosives. Alright, so here we are, cars. I'm going to request, well, let's say 50 cars. And actually, let's do 40 because I don't think 50 can actually fit if they only stack to 1. And we'll put in the arms for those. And what are we doing, like, it's 200. You can see them getting filled over here. Yeah, they don't stack, so actually 40 is a full chest, so let's or basically a full chest. So if we say like 20. What do I have on these? I actually 500. 200 should be fine. So you can see these getting filled up now. We got all our lights lit up. Or at least the stuff we're making. What is... radars, okay, yes. Blueprints. Alright, we have all of those being filled up now. These are the explosives that we aren't making yet. Just as I click, the autosave pops up. Alright, these are the rest of, I don't know what you, energy production items. But here we have the drills and pumps. And then the furnaces. Just put power poles in, even though we're not producing these yet. And I believe that's everything we're making for now. I'm gonna lower these to 100 because they don't stack as high, so we don't have like a whole train load sitting there. 100 should be a single row. And we should be able to see our production for things has gone way up. Repair packs. Let's just hit reset here. There we go. Well, can I? There we go. If we get rid of the raw items, let's say, we're producing. Okay, plates have. Well, I don't want to watch plates, but you can see we're producing a lot of pipes, repair packs, furnaces are over 300 a minute, lights, all the circuit network items, and then you've got some pumps and furnaces and drills and things like that. Why are we producing flying robots? We should be capped out. That may be back for our main base. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're chugging along here. Should just be filled in a few minutes. Like for producing 100 a minute, that's like half a row per minute. So I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with more Factorio All Items.